Here's a scary thought. After you turn 40, your brain can shrink by about 5% every single decade. But what if you could put the brakes on that? What if a huge piece of the puzzle wasn't some pricey, complicated new drug, but a common mineral that nearly half of all Americans are failing to get enough of? Well, scientists have uncovered a shocking link between magnesium deficiency and the physical shrinking of your brain. In this video, we're getting into the science to show you how this mineral acts as a bodyguard for your brain cells and what you can do, starting today, to fight back against cognitive decline. The hidden enemy in your head. Let's start with a simple, unsettling fact. For many of us, our brains are under a silent attack. This isn't from some disease you've heard of on the news. It's a quiet process driven by a hidden enemy, nutrient deficiency. And the prime suspect is magnesium. Magnesium is an essential mineral, which is a technical way of saying your body can't make it. You have to get it from your food. The problem is, modern diets are often stripped of this vital nutrient. It's estimated that almost half of Americans don't get the recommended amount of magnesium. And for older adults, the risk is even higher. As we age, our ability to absorb magnesium from our gut goes down, and our kidneys start showing more of it the door. And here's where the evidence becomes undeniable. A major study using data from the UK Biobank looked at over 6,000 healthy adults. It found that people who ate more magnesium had healthier, larger brains. Specifically, those who consumed over 550 milligrams of magnesium a day had a brain age that was about 1 year younger by the time they hit 55, compared to someone getting a more typical 350 milligrams a day. The lead researcher put it plainly: a 41% increase in magnesium intake could lead to less age-related brain shrinkage. And this isn't just about size. Less shrinkage is directly tied to better cognitive function and a lower risk of dementia later in life. The protective shield of magnesium might even start benefiting us in our 40s, or possibly earlier. So, what is actually happening inside the brain when this crucial mineral goes missing? The science of shrinkage. How a deficiency wrecks your brain. To understand why a lack of magnesium is so damaging, we need to look at 3 things it unleashes in the brain. First, there's neuroinflammation and oxidative stress. Think of chronic inflammation as a low-level fire that just won't go out. Magnesium deficiency is like pouring gasoline on it. When magnesium is low, your brain's immune cells can become overactive, releasing chemicals that damage neurons. This process also sparks oxidative stress, which you can think of as the rusting of your brain cells. Magnesium is a potent antioxidant, and without enough of it, this cellular rust builds up, leading to damage and cell death. Second, there's a terrifying process called excitotoxicity. Your brain cells communicate with chemical messengers, and one of the most important is glutamate. Glutamate is crucial for learning and memory, but it's a balancing act. Too much of it overexcites a neuron to the point where it becomes toxic and the cell dies. Magnesium is the brain's natural gatekeeper. It literally sits inside a receptor on your neurons, acting like a bouncer at a club, preventing too much glutamate from rushing in and causing chaos. When you're low on magnesium, that bouncer is off duty. The gates are wide open, and glutamate floods the cell, leading to a cascade of damage and cell death. Third, and this is critical for long-term thinking, is the loss of synaptic plasticity. Synapses are the connections between your brain cells. It's where learning and memory live. Synaptic plasticity is your brain's ability to build new connections and strengthen the ones it has. Magnesium is absolutely essential for this. It works as a helper for hundreds of enzymes involved in brain energy and communication. Without enough of it, your brain literally can't build or maintain these vital connections. Animal studies show that a lack of magnesium leads directly to a loss of synapses in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. So you've got a triple threat: a fire of inflammation, overexcited cells dying off, and a breakdown in your brain's communication grid. This is how a simple mineral deficiency leads to a physical loss of brain tissue. The hard evidence. What the studies show. These aren't just theories. The evidence is compelling. That UK Biobank study I mentioned is a landmark. By following over 6,000 people, it showed a clear relationship. The more magnesium people ate, the better their brain volume was preserved. The effect was especially strong in women, particularly postmenopausal women, suggesting magnesium helps fight the inflammatory processes that can speed up after menopause. Other long-term research backs this up. One study that followed adults for 17 years found that those with the highest magnesium intake had a 37% reduced risk of developing dementia compared to those with the lowest intake. But can it actually improve brain function, not just prevent decline? A groundbreaking clinical trial gave adults aged 50 to 70 with some cognitive impairment a special form of magnesium called magnesium L-threonate for 12 weeks. By the end, the researchers calculated that the supplement had effectively improved their cognitive function to a level of someone 9 years younger. Animal studies have shown that magnesium supplementation can reduce the buildup of amyloid plaques and tau tangles, the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. It also boosts a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which is like fertilizer for new brain cells. The science is all pointing to one powerful conclusion. Keeping your magnesium levels in a healthy range is one of the most important things you can do for the long-term health and structure of your brain. The solution, your action plan to protect your brain. Okay, the problem is clear. The science is solid. Now for the most important part, what can you do about it? The solution is straightforward and has two parts: diet and smart supplementation. First, how much do you need? Research suggests the brain protective effects really kick in at higher intakes. The study that found a 1-year younger brain compared people taking over 550 milligrams a day to those taking a more typical 350 milligrams. So, aiming for that 400-550 milligrams range through your diet is a fantastic goal. How do you get there? You have to be intentional about it. The best sources are whole foods that modern diets have pushed aside. Think dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard. Think nuts and seeds, especially almonds, cashews, and pumpkin seeds. Legumes like black beans and edamame are excellent sources. Even dark chocolate and avocados give you a healthy dose. Making a real effort to get a few of these foods onto your plate every day is the foundation. However, because of soil depletion and the fact that many of us are already starting from a deficit, diet alone may not be enough. This is where smart supplementation can be a game changer. But not all magnesium supplements are created equal, especially when you're talking about the brain. For brain health, 3 forms really stand out. Number 1 is magnesium L-threonate. This is the star player, the form used in that clinical trial that showed such dramatic cognitive improvements. It was specifically designed by scientists to cross the blood-brain barrier and effectively raise magnesium levels inside your neurons. It's considered the gold standard for brain-specific support. Number 2 is magnesium bisglycinate. This form is bound to glycine, an amino acid. This makes it very easy for your body to absorb and gentle on the stomach, unlike other forms that can have you running for the bathroom. Glycine itself is a calming neurotransmitter, so this form is great for promoting relaxation and better sleep, both of which are critical for brain repair. Number 3 is magnesium acetyltaurinate. This is another form known for its ability to enter brain cells. The taurine part of it has its own neuroprotective benefits, helping to calm the nervous system and protect against that excitotoxicity we talked about. This makes it a great option for people dealing with stress, which we know is no friend to the brain. By combining a magnesium-rich diet with a targeted high-quality supplement, you create a powerful defense against brain shrinkage and cognitive decline. An important warning: the Goldilocks rule. Before you rush out to buy supplements, there's a crucial point to understand. More is not always better. Recent research has uncovered what's called a U-shaped association between magnesium levels in the blood and dementia risk. This means that both very low levels and very high levels were linked to an increased risk. The goal isn't to megadose and push your levels through the roof. The goal is to correct a deficiency and stay in that healthy, optimal zone. For most people, following the recommended dose on a quality supplement and eating a nutrient-rich diet will put them right in that sweet spot for neuroprotection. And as always, It's a good idea to talk with your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement. Conclusion and CTA. The idea of our brains shrinking with age is definitely unnerving, but it shouldn't be a source of fear. It should be a call to action. We've seen that this process isn't a foregone conclusion. It's actively sped up by a hidden enemy, magnesium deficiency, that a huge number of us are dealing with. The science is clear. Low magnesium fuels inflammation, damages neurons, and breaks down the brain's ability to learn and adapt. But the solution is just as clear, and it's within your reach. You have the power to protect your brain. It starts on your plate with foods like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds. And it can be powerfully boosted with smart supplementation using brain-friendly forms like magnesium L-threonate. If you found this video valuable and want to keep learning how to take control of your health, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. For your next step, check out our video on the top 5 brain-destroying foods you might be eating every day. The link is right here. Thanks for watching.